Hey, it's been a while, you guys. We're here representing World Cup season, and this is Woke Wars, everybody. Are we ready to roll?
We are ready to roll, my friend. Cheers. Salud. It's been tough, man. I'll tell you. If you guys are Brazilian or Portuguese, you know,
There's the struggle.
I feel the struggle for you because I felt it.
Yeah.
Dude, I was so nervous. I think it was the first time in a long time that I actually felt my heart pumping,
Yeah.
like jumping out of my freaking mouth.
It's good to feel alive, bro.
Dude, but it was too much.
That's never
Because
too much.
the thing
Give
is
me
that
more.
I think I was very confident that we were gonna at least like make it to the finals this World Cup. Brazil, we have a pretty good team, and we were playing well. I mean, the loss to Cameroon, that was like, oh, we were already classified. We were already going to the next phase, and um, it wasn't really a big deal. So I felt like he didn't play the main players, whatever.
You got to rest the team, and you want to prevent injury.
So I felt like that loss was like whatever. And besides that, I felt like we were playing really good, and we have amazing talent. And then we lost. Croatia beat us again in a World Cup. Yeah, we got no wait. Yeah or no? I don't know now. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I think they beat us before in
Well, we can Google it. Let's see.
So Brazil, okay. So what happens? Since we were last champions in 2002, we haven't really made it past the quarterfinals.
Yep. At least
like,
you won.
What the F is going on, Brazil? Come on. We're supposed to be the country of soccer.
Right.
O país do futebol. It's part of our identity. And we have so much talent, but I feel like, business gets involved, corruption gets involved.
Wait, what does that have to do with anything?
Gets involved.
They played a good game. Both teams played a good game.
I mean, we have good talent here, but I don't think all the players that should have made it to the Brazilian team actually made it.
Oh, so you mean like your coach didn't draw?
There's a couple of players that for sure, like if you like unanimously, yeah, because they play for a Brazilian team, they don't play for one of the European teams.
Oh well, I feel like I don't know the politics between
CBF is supposed. CBF is the Brazilian Federation,
and the C stands for corruption.
CBF. The Confederation, I don't know, whatever.
Confederation.
Confederação de Futebol Brasileira de Futebol.
I see.
Supposedly very corrupt and very corrupt.
What? Corruption in football?
But
are you FIFA?
I don't know you, CBF. I don't know. I'm just
I
just
heard
repeating what I heard.
I didn't say that. This is what people say.
But
it's not my opinion. I'm just
follow
repeating.
the money. Whatever wherever there's money, there's probably corruption. Money. So,
maybe.
And there, if you follow the critics, the sports commentators in Brazil, they will.
They actually say that to their faces.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they'll
must be true.
They'll like go off on this freaking tantrum against the CBF.
Wow.
Just calling them corrupt and all those things, because it's a known thing in Brazil. Like, we know that, they're not really looking after the best interests of the national team and
why
looking
not?
for the best results. I don't know. It's like, can you explain to me why Neymar didn't kick the penalty? If not the best, one of the
best penalty
kickers. Yeah, PK kickers in the world did not kick the penalty against Croatia. Can you explain why? Like tactically, strategically, that doesn't make any sense.
But you mean like when they draw against Croatia?
Yeah, they draw against Croatia, went to the penalty
overtime.
Yeah, well, overtime, and then they scored during overtime.
Right.
In a crazy counterattack that should have never happened. We had 6 of our players in the offensive side and in a quick counterattack, you might think, oh, that's a normal thing, but no, not in the last minute of the overtime when we're winning. That's
Kicking
not a
to-
normal thing to have 6 of your players in the offensive side.
Yeah, that was a missed opportunity to just conserve the.
But anyways,
the
I
lead.
mean, it was a mistake. Whatever, fuck it. Just now we have the penalty, the PK. Neymar, the best, if not the best, one of the best PK kickers in the world, is not part of it. Does not kick.
Really,
Explain me,
weird.
like why, when.
but
and
he's
where,
on the list,
how.
right? They go in order.
Yeah,
and
he was the last one, but
he didn't
you
make
can
it.
switch that.
No,
you
can
can.
you?
Yes.
Well, maybe they weren't expecting to not
But
make
still.
it till the end. You know,
And
like,
then,
you're gonna be
like-
the last one because you're gonna, if you're the last PK kicker, you usually are winning the game. So it probably didn't go how they wanted it to go, and therefore he never got a chance. But it wouldn't make any difference because people would not.
We
they
missed
didn't
the
make it
first
that
one.
long. Yeah.
He placed the most inexperienced and youngest player to kick the first penalty. Rodrigo, I mean, I don't know, man. Neymar needs to go first. Neymar is the best. We have to guarantee the first one.
I don't
it
know.
doesn't make any
I don't know.
sense.
Does it though? I don't know if I agree with that approach. Like, think about it. Like, I think you can argue into any combination. You can say, hey, we should have our best kicker first, or we can have our best kicker last because if you make it, you win. But you can't really predict how many goal kicks you're gonna get because you can't predict how many kicks you're gonna score.
Exactly. So
it's kind of like a
the
gamble.
last one doesn't really mean you're gonna win if you make
neither
the
does
last
the
one.
first one.
Like, for example,
Neither does the
in
first
our
one.
case, we didn't kick the 5th one because we lost before that.
Right.
So, and as far as I know, you can switch the order now.
I didn't even know.
I think you
before,
can because
let alone
I heard
right
the
now.
commentators saying that, like, what the fuck is happening? Like, that was a big mistake because we have Neymar, so we have to use him, and he wasn't used when he could have been used in our favor. But I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking.
Tell me the opposite. Like, let's imagine a scenario. So Neymar goes first and he scores. Then what happens? Does it change the needle?
It changes. Well, yeah. I mean, it also changes the psychological game too. We made the first one. We didn't miss. So what happened? They scored right at the end in the last minute
Play of the game. Yeah.
of the extra time. So they went to the penalty kicks fortified psychologically. Their crowd
can
was,
turn this
they were
around.
like, oh, and we were down because we're like, oh fuck, we were winning, and then this stupid mistake, we got scored on, and fuck. So I think there was like a psychological kind of crash for Brazil, and they strengthened themselves psychologically, and I think that plays. I think there's an important psychological element to the game that could guarantee you the win. Sometimes, it's not all tactical and execution. I think there's a psychological side to the game too.
Sure, but I don't think.
And then after that, when the coach puts the most inexperienced player to kick the first penalty kick, given that their goalie was on fire that day and everybody was seeing that.
Yeah, he
God,
saved. He was like carrying Croatia.
Freaking Goro from Mortal Kombat. He has like multiple arms. He saved, dude. Our goalie, he was freaking scrolling on IG like the entire game. I don't think he was just like chilling there. They didn't attack. They didn't get to our goal the entire game.
Yeah.
And we were attacking. We had chance after chance. I mean, I guess we had to be more, finalize better.
It's all about the end result.
End result, yeah.
Well,
Anyways.
I don't know. Like, I feel like regardless of situation, there's definitely worse if you're trailing in the penalties.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the amount of pressure that you're representing a national team
Yeah.
and you're you're down to the wire, even if you're up,
And that's the
and if you have
psychological
to,
game
and if
I'm
you have to
talking about.
score or not score or keep scoring or you have to defend. I feel like the pressure is so high to any of the circumstances that it doesn't matter if you're from behind, if your morale was down, if like you just it's the most stressful situation that you can encounter in
Yeah, but I
football,
think
I think. And so you can't really say like, oh, this would have been much better scenario if they were already winning or if the mentality was going, we're gonna score.
but
I think it's
okay.
terrible either way.
Well,
It's
I'll
so
let
much
you
pressure.
I'll let you make an analysis,
Yeah.
okay? In that context, Croatia scores in the last minute of the extra time, and then we miss the first penalty kick. What kind of impact do you think that psychologically? What kind of impact do you think that has on the team?
The only
Croatia
factor,
is a monster now. They're a monster now, and we're like,
but
oh
it's
my
not
god.
Croatia. It's a goalie. It's you, the goalie, and
No,
maybe
no,
a
no.
billion
Like
people who are looking at you either live or through the TV. That is the real pressure. It becomes a game between you and the goalie. So it's more about if the guy's getting the balls and if he's getting into your head, then it's a relationship that you establish and it's a pattern that you have to break with the person, And it become, but it's now we're not talking about soccer. We're talking about this different game. Like we went to overtime, extra time. It's done. It's tied. Now we're playing another sport. It's a
yeah,
totally different sport, right?
but I
And you
mean,
might, and it's a high stakes sport.
yeah, yeah. But I think my point was just to mention the psychological aspect of it. There's a big it really it's an important element. It really it plays it
Yes,
out. It's important. Like
but
if it, I mean I'm sure you felt that before in a little
oh yeah,
league that we play. Like
oh yeah, yeah.
some
Because we play soccer for fun.
yeah, and
We still have
sometimes
hopes to make the national team at age 30
that
something.
can the psychological aspect can either motivate you or put you down, and it reflects on your physical ability too. Sometimes I think motivation is a big it's a big aspect,
I mean,
like
sports
it's a
psychology is a huge deal in these high competition sports. So you have to be able to tame the mind when it's going crazy
yeah,
because this is an unspeakable pressure. I've never been in that amount of pressure to think that the weight of the dreams of a nation is on my shoulders. It's the worst possible feeling for be the last guy that missed the penalty because Brazil was out because who the last kicker
was
missed
Neymar.
it. No,
No,
no, no,
well,
no. The last kicker who
Marquinhos. Yeah,
kicked.
yeah.
Marquinhos missed the last
The
PK.
same guy that the ball when we got scored on
Oh,
when they
it went
scored.
off of them. Off
Yeah,
of
it
him.
went off of his leg,
Yeah.
and then
So
it killed the
imagine what he's
goalie.
feeling right now.
Yep,
He sort of like deflected and got the
and he
equalizer, and then he missed the
missed
penalty
the
when he could have
penalty.
made it right. He didn't.
Yeah.
And this is such a like today. We're shooting this the day that Portugal got eliminated by Morocco.
Oh man, I felt bad for Cristiano Ronaldo. He
Yeah, me
cried all the
too,
way,
man.
like, and there was a camera following him. I'm like, I can't imagine what
What's
these guys
going
are
through
feeling
his
right now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And of course we're like if you want to be a jerk about it, like these freaking millionaires
No,
are just like, oh boo hoo, you lost it. Like, but these are like
they really care.
this is
I think they
is a
care.
body of a lifetime of work.
Yep.
This is where you staple your greatness. This is the last final chance to do it and to come out as one of the greats.
It becomes a different game for them.
Yeah, yeah. And even though he doesn't show it, because I was looking like he very nonchalant, but all of that emotion and all of that energy just collapses. Once it loses, like it's just like boom, stream, like uncontrollable sadness,
Yeah.
uncontrollable like strong emotions. And it's sad to see. Like I'm all about cheering the goats, and I want them to make the records. And this guy's a countryman, so I feel even more for him. And he hasn't been
He's a what?
uh uh
A countryman?
a countryman. He's like, we're from Portugal. We're
Yeah.
we're same
Yeah.
same country. So
Yeah.
I want them to do good and to do the best possible. I know that people, especially in my country, I feel like sometimes you like the same thing I hear about our friends from Brazil talking about Brazilian players
Yeah.
when they don't do good. Like it's so easy to go from hero to zero or zero to hero when
Yeah.
it comes to these sports, and people forget that one, we're talking about human, even though they might be superhuman, they're still human, and they still have feelings, and they still have doubts, and they still have like this thing that they have to like this beast inside that they have to sort of tame.
Yeah.
You
When
know?
people criticize those players, this is how I say, I challenge you to go through one day of training like those guys do.
But the
It's
counter argument is like, if
it's
I
a-
made that much money, I would go through any kind of
yeah,
trial.
right.
Like if I
Come
make
on,
$1 million
man.
a week,
You couldn't handle like a minute of it. Like honestly, these guys are top
yeah, they're
notch
elite.
athletes, elite athletes. They have the best people involved
Yeah,
in
it's not easy. It looks easy.
optimizing all of their potentials. You know,
Mhm.
it's insane the type of training that these guys go through, and I know that because I have friends who are professional soccer players, and they're like in a, I mean, they're not up there like world class. They could
Yeah,
have been world class, but they play for
world
smaller
class.
teams, and I know that the type of training that they go through, it's already insane. So I can't even like, it's really world class level.
Yeah,
It's like the best of the best. And if those guys don't go through that type of training, we don't have the type of entertainment that we like. You know, the speed, the
Yeah.
agility, the beautiful plastic goals. You know, like that's what make the sport so beautiful. Is the training that and the talent and the dedication and the training that these guys actually go through.
Well, all
You know?
sports, everybody who dedicates themselves to any sport has
Mhm.
to go through grueling. I have more respect for
Otherwise, you
like
can't be there.
the
You can't be part of
cathletes.
the elite.
You know, like the ultra marathonists, and like I have more respect for them because they go through like the grueling experience.
Yeah.
But there's like technique and finesse and like dedication to any craft. If you
Yeah.
you can be a boxer, you can be a soccer player, you can be like a marathon runner.
Yeah.
You know, the Kenyan world marathon superstar, apparently he runs at, you know, like I was doing some
Those
math,
guys are insane,
right?
dude.
And these guys keep this impossible pace for 2
endurance,
hours.
the stamina and
You know?
endurance of those guys is insane.
Yeah. Hello, everybody, and thank you for watching until the end. This has been Woke Wars, and I hope you liked our conversation. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Tell us what you'd like to hear us talk about next. Also, check out some of our other episodes. We post every Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We will see you on the next one.